There are just 37 days left to the end of the year, and Democrats must move quickly to wrap up the Build Back Better bill so that they can get to other agenda items, most notably voting rights. But when Congress returns from its Thanksgiving recess, they'll be scrambling to not only avoid a government shutdown, but also to raise the debt ceiling and agree on military spending. Build Back Better still needs to get passed by the Senate before it heads back to the House, which means the president will likely not get it on his desk, if he gets it on his desk, until sometime next year. That pushes any voting rights laws even further back into next year. With the midterms approaching, more than 150 of the nation's top scholars are making their stark warning public. Defenders of democracy in America still have a slim window of opportunity to act, but time is ticking away and midnight is approaching. Joining me now to discuss is co-founder of Black Voters Matter, Cliff Albright, and CEO of Vote.org, Andrea Hailey. Cliff, you know, I keep coming back to this calendar issue. How do you see the calendar working out with all the things that Congress has to get done just before the end of the year is done, and where you think that list of things puts voting rights in the lineup?
Yeah, and we have to move up. And good to see you, Charles. Thanks for having me. We've got to move up, and this is the argument that we've been making for some time now. We have got to move up voting rights on that list of priorities. Yes, Build Back Better is important. We want to see that pass, but some of these other things, you're just going to have to change that order of the menu items and move up voting rights. We cannot go into January without having passed this legislation. I was looking back at some of our social media posts and reminded that it was back in the spring when we really first launched this battle around these voting rights bills. And yet here we are. We've gone through seasons, Charles. We've had to change clothing in all of these protests that we've been doing. That's how long we've been fighting this. We can't go into January having not passed it. They've got to change the list of priorities, and we're going to be joining other organizations putting pressure on some senators, not just in D.C., but in their home districts, in their home states, at their offices. That's what we have in store for December.
Andrea, in the same way that, you know, Congress is operating under a clock with a lot of pressure on it, these Republicans in states that are trying to redistrict using the new census data, and many of them you redistrict in a way that is both racist and partisan, they're also trying to get that work done before the end of the year. If they, and many of them have already done it, if they continue to pass these maps before the holidays, but voting rights come sometime after all of that is done, how does that work out? Can you retrospectively go back and make and invalidate those districts that they've drawn and have them redraw them? Or are we going to be stuck with whatever they pass and is signed into law going into 2022?
You know, it's an excellent question. I don't know who out there needs to hear it, but this is not a fire drill. All of this is happening right now. The urgency is extreme. And I think what we know for sure is we have to pass the Freedom to Vote Act to address some of these issues, and the John Lewis Voting Rights Act. That way, there are some things that can be taken care of retroactively, but the majority of this is happening right now, and our democracy and our freedom to vote is slipping bit by bit, and it is incumbent on our leaders to do what they need to do to address the holes in our democracy. I know that it's a tough job. Lots of people in the Senate have a tough job getting voting rights passed, but we all have tough jobs, and this is definitely the time to deliver before Americans start to lose their freedom to vote. You have to remember, 84% of Americans support federal legislation to address these issues, and only 47% of Americans believe that our Congress is doing enough to address them in real time.
Cliff, how do you think, I'm just trying to get into the minds of the people who are dragging their feet. How do you think that they are looking at this? Democrats can only lose about 5 seats in the House. If I just look at the states that have already drawn maps and the way that they have drawn them, they've already positioned themselves to get those 5 seats that they need. You're going to be out of power, out of control. What is the thinking that says we can just wait?
Some maps that basically does the same thing that you're saying, that it takes away a seat, as it creates a 6-to-1 situation. And you're exactly right. I don't understand the thinking. I go back and forth between some people that, maybe they really believe that it's just not that bad. Maybe they just don't really understand the nature of the attacks that we're seeing, not just in terms of the voter suppression, the voter access, but as you mentioned, in terms of the gerrymandering, which we've got to mention is not something that you can undo come next October. I saw a post on social media the other day where somebody was saying, hey, calm down, we got a whole year before the midterm elections. You can't undo these maps that they're drawing right now. Literally, primary ballots are going to be printed in just a matter of weeks, because they've got to be ready for the springtime primaries. So this is a matter of fierce urgency that we've got to deal with this. But I don't understand the thinking if people just aren't taking it seriously. Or the flip side is this, that you've got some people within the Democratic Party that really don't care, right? There's a school of thought that says that they're okay with losing power because having power is sometimes too much for them to bear, because then they actually have to pass a progressive agenda, right? We're seeing that playing out right now in terms of Build Back Better, right? That they'd rather be able to just not get something done and blame Republicans than to actually be responsive to an increasingly progressive and black and brown electorate. So I think that there's mixed motivations, but I don't, whatever the reason is, as Andre said, I don't know who's got to hear this, but they got to stop playing around, because they cannot expect us to go out and save the day and out-organize voter suppression and out-organize these maps. They have got to take this as seriously as it needs to be taken. And when they say that it's an attack on democracy and the biggest attack since the Civil War, they've got to demonstrate actions that show that they really believe that. We've not yet seen that sense of urgency from the White House. We've not yet seen President Biden go to Congress the same way that he went to Congress for infrastructure. He's got to do that in order to get this passed.
Andre, how do you respond to people when you try to make this argument and they come back with, we are in a two-party system, Biden is so much better than Trump? That's true. He's working hard to get things done. Build Back Better is going to help black people in this way, that way, whatever. He's only been in office for less than a year. There's too much pressure to try to put on him. Give him a shot. They have it all worked out. You don't know like they know. I mean, there's a circle the wagons mentality, because people think that if you put pressure on Biden, it basically only weakens him and gives a shot for someone who would oppose him, like a Trump. How do you break through that?
I think we're about to be in a different kind of two-party system. You're going to have one group of people in our country who believe in everybody's freedom to vote and to participate in their elections, and another set of people who believe in some other form of government. And that's what we're really dealing with here. And it's time for our leaders to see that. And what it means to address this moment means to be at profile and courage. There is not a perfect way through here. There is a moment for true leadership, and there's a moment for exerting true and real power. And this is it. So it's time for the president to use that power, to go to Congress. As Cliff said, it's time for the Senate to act. And it's time to fight as hard as all the people all across the country fought in these last elections, when they produced the highest turnout in American history. So now it's time for elected officials to do the very, very hard work and get voting rights legislation passed and prioritize it and be willing to exert power to get it done in service of all of our freedom to vote.
Cliff Albright and Andrea Hailey, thank you both for joining me tonight. I really appreciate your time.